some toys in here.
Hey, what's up everybody? Today it's the Man-Child. Alright, so today for review, going to take a look at the Masters Universe Origin Lord Grasp figure, the Venomous Viper with Crushing Claw. So yeah, Lord Grasp is obviously another mix and mash of Snakemen parts for the newer Snakemen figures in the Origins line. Lord Grasp was another one of those figures that was supposed to be released in the vintage 80s toy line. I think he was going to be part of the Powers of Grayskull series. So it was like a I want to say 88 release. But they wanted to expand the series in that vintage line with figures like Lord Grasp, Terror, which I already reviewed. Another figure called Plasmor, Hero, Lady Slither. So with the Origins now, we have a lot of those figures out. The only one we're waiting for, aside the dinosaurs and the larger figures, which hopefully will come. And if they do, they'll probably be Mattel Creations exclusives, is Hero and Plasmor we're waiting on, which they were kind of revealed or teased, and I'm sure they're coming. Yeah, anyway, we just pretty much have a MOTU Origin, or just a regular vintage Origin style body, a clawful claw, squeeze head, and he has a cape in the back. And now here's a look at the art and back of the packaging. So awesome art as always. We have Plasmor to the left-hand side over here. So as I already mentioned, Plasmor is sort of teased, or at least rumored. Which I have no doubt. It's just an easy combination of parts between Fisto and some new armored, which kind of easy to tool up. He did have darker skin. So we have Lord Grasp coming to the right-hand side, jumping in at him with his, clawful claw, getting ready to attack. And you can see we have some jungle going on here, so it kind of goes back to pre-Eternia. I think that's what the Powers of Grayskull line was going for. It's kind of going to that era. Yeah, we have Megator back here. You can see the pterodactyl figure. So I had that as a kid. I don't remember the name of it. I remember, I want to say Bionatops, the green one. Remember that name. Then you had the Tyrannosaurus Rex, the purple dinosaur, which I had. And there was also Titus. I don't see him in the background. And it looks like riding that pterodactyl figure, maybe Fangman, I want to say, because I just reviewed the Reptilax yesterday, and he had a Fangman head. I'm going to bring him back in a little while, try a couple parts from the questions in the comments. Anyway, it's what it reminds me of, but yeah, awesome art as always. And now, dropping down to the left-hand side, just shows some artistic picture images of Lord Grasp action features, accessories. So once again, of course, he has a clawful claw that has the working lever, and he can twist into powerful battle positions. He has a snake shield, and he also comes with the snake staff as well, which they don't show on the back of these images, or in this image here. And then moving over to the cross-cell on top, of course, we had the Rise of the Snakemen bio, Lord Grasp and Terror, which I already reviewed, and I'll bring them back in later for comparison against Lord Grasp. And then dropping down just shows a couple figures with the cartoon collection, which I believe these two are out now, or on pre-order Big Bad Toy Store. And another point I want to make is both Lord Grasp and Terror are Walmart exclusives, so they're being found in Walmart stores now and online. But once Walmart is done with the exclusive deal, which should be around summertime, these are going to be available at places like the Paul Mart store, I think Big Bad Toy Store, maybe Entertainment Earth, and some various retailers. So, yeah, everybody's going to have a chance to get these. So, another thing I want to bring in real quick is the Super 7 Classics Snakemen Trio that you can see here in box. I brought this in my Terror video. I got some comments on it, and plus, maybe for people who aren't familiar with this set, I brought this in for a couple reasons. So, number one, these figures have been done before, obviously, through the classics. And as I already mentioned, these were all from vintage-inspired art going back to that. I think they call it like the Lost Snakemen Trio or something like that. These are supposed to be in the Power of Grayskull series back in the day. So yeah, classics were the only ones that got to them. I think Lady Slither too, as I mentioned, was also supposed to be part of the Powers of Grayskull line. I know there was vintage concept art to her. But I know the classics were supposed to do a Lady Slither and never got to her. Anyway, they did get to these guys when Super 7 got the line. So once again, we have a Terror. Now here's Plasmor. As I said, he's already teased. I have no doubt he's coming to this line. And here's what they did with Lord Grasp. If you're curious what the classics did with these over the Origins now. And then the other thing I want to do is take a look at the bio for Lord Grasp on the back of this classics box. Because, yeah, obviously the Origins card doesn't have any bio. So if you're curious what his background story was, at least had a classics one about it, you can pause and read this, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, before we take a look at Lord Grasp and all his accessories, Lord Grasp comes with a new comic. Actually, all the newer Snakemen come with this comic, so I already showed it in a few of my videos, so be patient with me for newer people who might not have seen it. So it's called Lord Leviathan's War, right? We have Lord Grasp on the cover. We have Reptilax. I call him Tiliax. Reptilax. Off to the left, Snake Armor Skeletor to the right. So I'm going to open up, pause it one more, or just take a look at the images and bubble captions if people want to read it. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff going on. Lady Slithers, Snake Ship. All right, you can see Lord Grasp here. Kind of a battle, internal battle going on between Lord Snake Armor Skeletor and Reptilax, excuse me. There's a new Viper. He should be coming out pretty soon, or in summertime. All right, just gonna move it up like this. There's Reptilax there. I'm gonna bring him back in, as I mentioned, a little while for some parts, other parts swapping that people asked me with in his video. I didn't get a chance to try. Little stuff. Can't do everything in every video. So Snake Armor Skeletor, he has the medallion there. Snake Mountain in the background. There's Lord Grass, Terror, and Viper. Like this. Here's that new collector ship. This is on Mattel Creations, by the way, for sale. I think it's actually might be in stock. I just ordered it for 40 bucks, so head over there and check it out. And now, here's a quick look at Lord Grasp and all his accessories out of package. Yeah, it's a pretty cool looking figure with the details and just the paint they applied to the body, even though he's just clawful, squeeze, and regular MOTU Origins parts. I'm a sucker for all this stuff. So, bringing in Lord Grasp for a closer look at his head and head sculpt. Yeah, really cool. I like it. It's just, it was already mentioned a couple times, a squeeze head, which I thought they did a good job with the newer head for squeeze in the Origins. Good detail. I love the way they sculpted the scales. He has little nostrils in the outer nose. The eyes, too. Really popping his figure. The way just the color like that. Green with the little reptilian slits in there. Both sides. Sculpted open mouth, if you're not familiar with squeeze. Teeth. Sculpted and painted. You can even see like the pink. It's supposed to be his tongue inside there. As far as the articulation with the cape and everything on, he can look all the way left to right. Go down and look all the way up. Right. Spin him around like this. Check out the back of all the details of the head. Yeah, the extra bone or the scale ridges going back on top. Yeah, I really like this head for squeeze, and it's cool that they used it for Lord Grasp as well. And now moving down to the chest and buck area. Again, just another typical Origins He-Man Skeletor. Yeah, standard buck. Nothing new. Painted black. I like this black color too. It's like, it's flat, but yet it has a little bit of a gloss in it. It's kind of like a chalkboard kind of black color, I want to call it. Yeah, awesome Snake Man symbol. Snake Man symbol painted on the chest. Really clean. So as far as the articulation, everything we've seen before, can spin, come apart at the waist, right? Nothing new. So yeah, the most important part, let's move over to the arm. So on the right arm, he pretty much just has a clawful claw. Now you can see he has like a column of scales. I guess that they're supposed to be outer scales going down the arm painted. They did a good job on that, on both the left and right side. Now I do have another Classics loose Lord Grass. I'll bring him to compare him. I actually think this Origins one did a cleaner job with the paint. Anyway, so as far as the articulation with the arm, up, down, forward, back, of course, now he has a cape on, which I'll remove soon. We'll take a look at it and remove it soon, but when you turn the arm forward a certain position, it's going to break the extra scaling on the shoulders up to the neck. Can bend all the way out the arm, go up like this, move the claw, wow, all the way up to the face and head and all around. A lot of articulation. The articulation is good in this figure, in mine anyway. Can spin at the elbow. So yeah, once again with the clawful claw, it's pretty much what it is, but that can spin, now it doesn't come off. Maybe it does heat it up. I never try to take my clawful claw off, but it's not a regular peg like the hand. And of course he has that snapping feature. So if you're not familiar, just has a lever, something like the Vintage did, and that's it. And has a good grip to it. It's not overly tight, which you don't want it to be and break your finger. But yeah, look at the details too. Just that extra paint. How they painted all the scales. Right, again, you're not, okay, both sides, and then you have striped lines underneath as far as the claw. Then this black on the bottom part of it. But yeah, the extra bumps, crab shell bumps, sculpt on this, really cool. And then moving on to the left arm, again, it's all the same as far as muscle aesthetics. This extra line of scales painted, articulation up, down, forward, back. Let's see, bend at the elbow, spin at the elbow. And then he has an orange glove that's just painted on. It's not like a Skeletor arms kind of thing with the fins painted. And then he has a semi-weapon gripping hand, semi-close hand. That can spin, goes in and out in a hinge joint, just painted orange. And it can come right out, just standard Origins peg. And now, taking a closer look at this cape, they added with Lord Grasp. Really cool detail, I gotta say. I love the way it's sculpted, all neck pieces position, the flaps, the upper neck flap going over the lower part of the cape. Now, that's all sculpted. It's not like this can unfold and pop up around the head. You do have this like braided piece of rope or something like that, I guess supposed to be. It's yeah, just green to match the cape. But look at all the details, how it's all like the material, right? Sculpted all around the cape. That's awesome. I like the color of this too, by the way. It's like a not olive drab, but it's some kind of flat green color. But it stands out with just all the details, sculpting and the weaving of the cape. So you take a look at that, right? So there's a closer look at the shoulder piece now. If you notice, it's kind of short on him. I mean, it's not the worst thing. Some warriors have shorter capes that go down behind the knees, and a lot of them, like Skeletor or stuff like that, go down almost to the ground, which looks cool. That doesn't seem practical to me as a fighter or warrior, because I would always think he'd trip over or something. But kind of mixed on this. Kind of feel like it should have went down to the bottom of the feet, because that's what the classics Lord Grasp cape, how his cape is set up, which again I'll compare a little while, and they didn't do that with this figure. Anyway, so it is pretty flexible. You can bend it again. All yeah, the sculpting with the material in the back, and it can move all around. So to remove it, yeah, obviously just going to remove the head off Lord Grasp like so, and then the cape's going to come right off the neck. And now here's a little better look at that cape off the body. So I already talked about the color, yeah, all the sculpting and stuff, and the layers with the collar, all that good stuff. And yeah, it's all part of sculpt. But yeah, it is a great design. I really like it. And the collar, I kind of wish it was a little bit longer. That's about it. But aside that, awesome cape. And now here's a look at Lord Grasp without the cape on. Of course, put the head back on. So yeah, now we have a little better articulation. Not too much. The cape doesn't really hinder it that much. All right, so spinning him around, familiar with the back aesthetic. So here's a better look at these extra painted scales going down each side of the arms, and yeah, the shoulders all the way up to the neck piece. Right, we checked out all the articulation of the arms. We know how this will break as you move the arms around, which again, with the cape on, if you're going to keep it on, you're not going to see it. So moving down, we already talked about the waist, compart the waist. Yeah, it just has the MOTU Origins He-Man Skeletor belt, the loincloth is painted green, belt's orange. Moving down to the legs, again, MOTU style legs, nothing new, but yeah, I love how I like the arms. I'm really impressed how they painted all these extra details down everything, these plates or scales, whatever they're supposed to represent, on both sides. So as far as the articulation with the legs, go all the way out with a split. All right, kick forward, go back, bend at the knee, spin at the knee. The legs are all the same. Great articulation on my figure. And then moving down, he just has a typical He-Man Skeletor boots. Can spin, they can come off. Yeah, just molded or cast in an orange color to match the glove and the loincloth. Some extra green painting to match the cape and the belt. I should mention that, I guess. Lacing, and then, of course, the foot, and go up, down, and rock side to side. And once again, the other boot, foot, it's all the same, the articulation. So once again, putting the cape back on Lord Grasp, I just wanted to make a quick comparison with this cape against Scareglow. Yeah, so I took a look off to the side of my toy collection, my MOTU collection. I'm saying, I know I've seen this cape before, at least I think I did. And yeah, it's definitely from Scareglow, which he came out a long time ago. So same exact cape, sided color difference. So I just wanted to confirm that. And then as far as cape comparisons, I also want to bring in the Origins King Randor. So you can take a look at that cape. Yeah, obviously different design. So the Origins made a couple different style capes that they use on, in this case, King Randor, I think Keldor. And obviously now we have Lord Grasp, and that one was on Scareglow. But I just kind of want to show you the style, how it's different. So King Randor's doesn't have that collar design. He has the rope, braided rope on the neck, but it's painted, which, you put a little paint on this. I might do that later. Not a big deal. I do like the weaving, or let's just call it the texture, in this cape for Lord Grasp and Scareglow a little better. I like the collar, but see how King Randor is a little bit longer. I think it would have been neat if this cape was about that length, in minus, if you went above the collar. It would look something like that, as far as Lord Grasp has. And now, here's a look at the weapons and accessories that comes with this Lord Grasp figure. So yeah, we just get the iconic Snakeman shield. That's already come with King Hiss, Reptiliax, and I think the Snake Horde Trooper. But of course, it's cast in the green and matches belt and cloth or cape. And he comes with the iconic Snake Staff that's cast it in this time a black color. So, jumping back over to Lord Grasp once again, let's arm him up with his weapons or accessories. So, I'm just going to put the shield on the left hand because that's the only arm it's going to go on. It's not going to work on the clawful hand. We'll just snap onto the forearm like so. And here's a quick look at that setup. So, if you just want to use the shield, and you can see how the arm articulates. And with the shield on the forearm, like these shields work, they do spin left to right. Now, this one does clip on pretty good. It just misses these fins. Some of the arms, like Reptiliax, yeah, it was really difficult to put the shield on the lower arm because it would slide off. And if you put it on a bracer, it worked better, but then it would overstretch this plastic. So you got to be careful, but for most parts, works pretty good on his arm. And now I'm just going to put the snake staff in hand. Once again, you can only put it on the left side. I mean, I guess you can hold it with the claw if you wanted to. Let me see if we'll hold it. Kind of looks silly if you turn it up sideways. You wanted to put the shield in one hand and put the snake staff in a claw. Kind of looks something like that. And now here's a quick look with the snake staff, just the left hand. Yeah, I removed the shield, or when I took the shield off, the snake staff would fall out. Everything would fall apart. So you want to check out that setup. Yeah, I like that a lot better. I don't think I'm going to use a shield with him. I just think he looks better with the snake staff and the claw up, how he's designed. And now, once again, moving forward with some comparisons and some mixing and matching of parts, what we can do with Lord Grasp here as far as the origins. Anyhow, here's a comparison between the Origins Lord Grasp and that Classics loose one I had. Yeah, originally I picked him up on eBay for like, before I got that 3-pack. He was loose. I think he had loose joints or something like that. It was like an auction, and I got a good deal on him. Yeah, I couldn't believe I won him for that cheap at the time. And then later on, I pre-ordered that 3-pack, or maybe I had a pre-order on it. It finally came in, I got it, because I thought it was going to get canceled, or whatever the issue was with it. Anyway, so I ended up with a spare one. So as far as comparison, that's those two together now. So yeah, Classics is always awesome, but kind of give you an idea. So you can see how the Classics went about the claw. I mean, yeah, their claw is a little larger. Of course, a better design. Now, they have a spring kind of trap. See that? You just, like, put your finger to figure and it snaps, where he has a little lever. Has very similar painting underneath. So the Origins follow that. What I like with the Origins is just the painting, the scale-like painting, up and down the legs and arms, to where the Classics just gave him state police uniform stripes. Yeah, I like this better with the Origins. The Classics, so let's see. All right, snake staff. Now, see, the hand is really bad shape with this figure. He has loose joints all over the place. What else? So, all right, this snake staff is in gray. His is in black. Now, talking about the cape. So, see, he has a longer cape, going back to the Origins, which is pretty cool. Now, I wonder if it would work on the Origins. Here's a look at their squeeze head, which I gotta say, the Origins did a good job for the squeeze head. Again, being used on this Lord Grasp figure. But, of course, the Classics is, bump up, notch up. So, let me take the cape off this Lord Grasp figure and put it on the Origins, see if it fits and what it looks like. And here's a quick look with that Classics cape on the Origins Lord Grasp figure. Pretty cool. It does hang down a little bit much, so again, it'd be cool if it just came down to the bottom of the feet, or even to the top of the furry section of the boot. But you can always curl it like this, like he's dragging it, and that looks cool, because that kind of goes back to the comics, or at least in the comics, when he's up in the air, it seems to be all spread out, a lot longer than this cape. So it can work, and don't look bad, but I do like the textures better on the Origins cape. But anyway, the Classics one does fit this figure. And taking a closer look at the Classics Lord Grasp once again with the cape off. Here's a comparison once again with the Origins head. Just kind of see the differences. So again, this is a pretty cool head. Classics is a little better now. Yes, I tried removing this off the body. The Super 7 figures you have to be really careful with. I even heat this up with a blow dryer, and I can hear cracking here. And I've actually broken pegs off these figures with Super 7. So I'm not even going to bother, because I was going to try to put this head on the Origins figure, but yeah, it's nope, not going to mess with it. Anyway, just gives you, a little better look at the head. And again, I don't know how many people would have a figure like this to sacrifice the head for the Origins, because he's kind of rare and expensive at this point. Anyway, kind of look at all the details of the two heads. And once again, moving back to the origins, Lord Grasp. Of course, I have the cape and head back on. So the next thing, as far as customs or stuff that people might want to do with this figure, is maybe get rid of this claw. I mean, he's, as I always say this with these kind of figures like Terror and now Lord Grasp, he's his own thing. You know, he's already a mix and mash of, yeah, squeeze, clawful, all that stuff. So for me, I'm not going to customize him. He has his own unique scales paint on the arms and legs, the claw, the cape. Besides, you could change the cape out with something different if you wanted to. I like it. Again, maybe I'll get a green cloth one down the road. But he is what he is. That's how I'm going to keep him. Beside that, maybe some people just want this figure and get rid of the big claw. They like the clawful claw. I like it. The only thing I can think of, so I brought in Anti-Eternity He-Man. He's a pretty common figure. If not, he's inexpensive to get. Sometimes you can find him on he was on Mattel Creations for a while when he sold out, like for 22 bucks or something. But the black skin tones are pretty close. Now I also looked at Ninjor. His is also close, but a little shiny. But Ninjor has like big red gloves that go all the way up to the arms. So yeah, 6.5, 1 dozen the other. I'm gonna stick with this He-Man. Because he only has a basic bracer. So yeah, you could change. You'd have to remove this whole arm and put this arm on, and you'd have a, you know, this style bracer. You can always paint it yellow, but now you're not going to have these scales, which maybe to some people ain't a big deal. And of course, they go all the way up to the, you know, neck if you have the cape off, which again, with the cape on, you don't really see them. So my best suggestion would be to change both arms out if you wanted to do that. So let me change the arms out and see what that looks like. So actually, the first thing I want to do is just change the claw out with the right arm. But again, now you're not matching this. You're missing, you know, you only have paint on the left side. You don't have it on the right. Maybe some people that don't matter. You have an orange glove in the hand. Now you have this red bracer, which you can paint. So I just kind of want to show you that if you didn't mind just having one arm with the scales and the side didn't have it. So now let me change this arm out with the other Anti-Eternity He-Man arm and take a look at that. And now, there's a look at that setup. So yeah, I have the Anti-Eternity arms, both of them obviously on Lord Grasp. So if you didn't want this claw armed and you didn't want a left arm with the scales and the orange glove to match the other arm anyway, or if you didn't care, you leave this on, do one or the other. There you go. And the paint does match the body well. And he has red bracers, so you can either live with that or just put some orange paint on him. You know, acrylic paint to match that. It's pretty easy color. And now you have this Lord Grasp figure with 2 regular arms. And now, moving forward once again with a couple more comparisons. So I brought in a new Reptilax, or I call him Reptiliax, but Reptilax next to the new Lord Grasp and Terror. So these are the 3 newer figures that's out for this newer Snakemen series. The only one we're waiting for is Viper, right? The red guy down in the bottom. Now, as I said, these 2 are Walmart exclusives, but they are supposed to be released later on this summer for retail. He is also on pre-order Big Bad Toy Store, and Reptiliax is I haven't heard that he's, or not Reptiliax, Viper. I haven't heard that he's exclusive yet, but I think he's also going to be released at places like Big Bad Toy Store or whatnot. So, you know, you'll be able to get your hands on all 3 of these. Anyway, that's all 3 of those together. Now, why I have Reptilax in, a lot of people were really interested with this head. I think it's a cool head sculpt. It's basically a Fangman head sculpt. I think it's going to come in the Origins. It looks like to me, going back to the classics. It is green. I kind of wish it was yellow to match the body, but not, you know, again, it's just the crazy wackiness how they make up these particular characters. But in my video, I did try some part swapping. Again, I can't get to everything, but some people had some other questions with a couple of the Snake figures. Will this head work on? So I'm going to bring them in, but before I do that, let me also put this head on Lord Grasp, being a lot of people are fascinated with this head can do on other Snakemen figures, and see what that looks like. Okay, and there you go. There's some head swapping fun. So, yeah, we have Reptilax's head on Lord Grasp body, obviously, with the cape on. You know, it's fun. It's kind of cool. Articulates well, right, up and down. So we'll take a look at that, again, with the cape on. And now, here's a quick look at the Lord Grasp head on the Reptilax body with that armor on. And that also looks cool because the black colors match this black upper armor. The yellow matches all the goldish yellow highlights in this armor. Or in the body as well, it's a little brighter. Take a look at that with the tail. It's pretty cool. And I also, yeah, my tail, I used a marker. I mentioned this in my video too. It made it look like the loincloth was cut outward instead of just the, yeah, it was kind of cheesy to me. Just tail just plugged right on. Not the worst thing. A lot of people too didn't like how far the tail went out. They said they're going to heat this and try to bend it back, kind of a shelf hogger thing. So you can do that because it's a hard enough plastic. You know, heat it up and bend it in if you wanted to. Anyway, it's improvements, but it looks pretty cool. It articulates really well. And now we just added the cape with the Lord Grasp head on the Reptile Axe body and the armor. Take a look at that. Pretty cool. And now with the same setup, I took their Lord Grasp head off, put Reptile Axe head back on the body with the cape, his armor set up. So you check that out. Once again, pretty cool. And with the cape on, head articulates well, goes up and down, side to side, all good stuff. So once again, here's Lord Grasp all set up as he is, but now I put the Reptile Axe armor on him. We have his original head, the cape. So take a look at that. And that armor looks really cool on Lord Grasp, again, because of the colors. The black matches the black. The yellows, it's gold, but it's more yellow. It matches the stuff, especially the darker yellow, because the claw is really bright, the face and all that good stuff. But check that out. Another cool setup. Grasp, and same articulation with the cape and the armor. It doesn't affect anything. But it's pretty cool. And now one more time, I just put the Reptile Axe head on the Lord Grasp body, but this time with the armor on, left the cape on. So you want to take a look at that setup. So if you didn't like this yellowish body, had Lord Grasp or something like that, you want to mix the colors up with his head, the cape, the armor. For a Snake Eye anyway, you can do a whole custom video with other figures. It's kind of what it look like, articulates well. And now finally, bringing in 2 more Snakemen figures to mix around with the Reptile Axe head as far as mixing and matching the parts. Going back to what I mentioned at the beginning of the video, people in the comments want to see this head on these 2 figures. So yeah, in my video, if you've seen it or not, I tried this head on other various green Snakemen figures. I did get comments with this work on a Man-at-Arms, a Palace Guard, or the Infiltrator. The Man-at-Arms figures, as far as the bodysuits, are like a brighter green. The Infiltrator, I kind of, you know, he's obviously in the background, and the more I look at it, this head's pretty close, but people want to know if this would fit on a body, because he's a Snake Eye, and he has a helmet, it might work. And then, of course, more importantly, is a Snake Horde Trooper. Didn't even think about that, because his head's already awkward, this Rattler head. Can't really look down unless you open the armor up. Anyway, while I have the head out in these 2 figures, let's try it out and see what it looks like. And now, just look with that Reptile Axe on the Infiltrator Snakeman Guard body. Alright, so yeah, the colors are a little off, but this is a darker shade, as I already mentioned. And it doesn't look bad, articulates well. So if you're curious what that head would look like on one of these Palace Guards, this figure, it could work. Yeah, the shades again is, I'm trying to look at my light. Yeah, obviously off from this, but it is a Snakeman figure. And it would be cool if you had a cape or some kind of armor, because the neck goes up, and just see how wide this is at certain angles, unless you like put it down like that when you go back. That's noticeable. It's not the worst thing to me. But anyway, and now there's a quick look at that setup. So yeah, that Reptile Axe head fits surprisingly well on a Horde Trooper. It does go all the way down the ball peg, but it can articulate left to right and go up, but it can't go down because of this neck collar. Again, that was the same problem with the Rattler head. Unless you open this armor up, you break the armor away a little bit. This figure, yeah, mine gets stuck. There you go. Yeah, it ain't gonna look all the way down. I mean, then it's kind of looks weird, but yeah, that looks pretty cool. I didn't think it would work that well on it. He's looking forward for the most part. So yeah, wow, cool. And then of course I tried to try that Rattler head on the Reptile Axe body while I have it out. See what it looks like with the green head. There's a few of these heads out now, right? The red, the green, various colors. We're gonna take a look at that. And yeah, this armor kind of gets in the way a little bit. You got to just get on a ball peg right, but it can spin left to right, look up, and that's as far as it can look down. But it does look a lot better. He does look forward, which is instead of looking up in the air like that. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so that's my overall review on the new Master Universe Origins Lord Grasp figure. Yeah, I really like him, you know. I'm a sucker for all these different variants. He's pretty popular. At least he was in the classics, and once again, hard to get. And even online, on eBay and stuff, he was going for a lot of money. Is a Walmart exclusive, so as I already mentioned a couple times, start checking your Walmart stores, because both Lord Grasp and Terror are being found. So, you know, maybe you'll get a chance to get him for 20 bucks. And if not, just wait. Hopefully, pretty soon, I'm sure Big Bad Toy Store and those other places will get pre-orders in from them. Maybe they'll show up Mattel Creations as well, because I know Mattel Creations is starting to get some weird stuff, and I noticed on their site too, which sells out pretty quick. Anyway, yeah, you're just getting another clawful. Yeah, mix and mash of parts. That's what it is, and that's what makes these figures fun. You know, a lot of people getting tired of Snakemen. Other people like them, or other people want to see newer figures. But again, this is like original concept characters, or yeah, figures that went all the way back to the vintage days and were never produced. So it's nothing new. We're just getting them new, or what the classics done, but now on the Origins. And I know Mattel is going to go forward and come out with even more Snakemen. I think they're going to finish them all up from what they said. And of course, we'll get more of the vintage-inspired figures, which a lot of us are waiting for. I have a feeling San Diego Comic-Con are going to announce, you know, a lot more of them. And Turtles and the cartoon line, all good stuff. Beside that, yeah, pretty cool. And I like the way all the details, the scales, the colors, and the cape too as well. Again, I already mentioned a few times. I wish it was a little longer, but not the worst thing. It is what it is. And yeah, interesting to see him. Have him in hand. So I appreciate everybody watching. And until next time, take care.